to accept the healing and the forgiveness that he brings, because we have imperfections in our lives, and those imperfections, they separate us from a perfect God. We call it sin. It's these imperfections that we fall short of. We miss the mark. And Jesus came so that we would be forgiven. He died so that we wouldn't have to. And he rose again, showing that he doesn't just have the power to forgive sin, but he has the power to give us everlasting life. And if that's if you don't have that today, then I want to give you the opportunity. And if that's you today and you're missing that, then I just want to lead you in a prayer. And it's not the prayer, it's not the words, but what God's word said is that if you make him Lord, or you make him in control of your life, and you confess that out loud, and then you put your belief in him, you have everlasting life. You have a forever relationship with God. And if that's you today, you just pray with me. In church, we're praying this together to encourage those who are praying it for the first time, and that is this. It's just, Jesus, thank you for forgiving me of my sin. Thank you for forgiving me of my failure. Today, I put my belief in you. Teach me how to live. Teach me how to love. Teach me to live this life brave and bold. In Jesus' name, amen. Looking up here, guys, if that was you today, we want to celebrate with you. And I'm not about embarrassing people. I'm not gonna come over and be like, hey, what's your name? I'm not gonna ask you to stand up. But one thing we want to do is celebrate with you. So what I am gonna ask you to do is that I'm gonna count to 3. And if that's you, I want you to raise your hand on 3. And I'm just gonna be like, I see you. And we're just gonna celebrate. So I'm counting to 3. We're celebrating with you. You're raising your hand. 1, 2, 3. I see you. We would love, I want to meet you if you raise your hand. I want to meet you outside.
I feel like I just had a wisdom bomb dropped on me. I don't know if y'all know Marty and Ruth Moore personally, but they're one of 2 couples I feel like in my life, and even from a distance, that I feel like can speak into ours on how to do marriage, and yet they were nowhere near perfect. So I hope we go today. This is the last week of our series for After I Do. Have you enjoyed it? Have you enjoyed the series? You know, we planned these series out a good 6 months. We had this planned in October just because we knew in February we talk about love, and you may go, man, I kind of took a few weeks off because I'm not married. It's not really pertaining to me. You got to go back online and watch it because it relates to everyone. Even if you're not married, this will prepare you to get ready for marriage. So you got to check it out. It'll be online. And all 5 weeks you do not want to miss. This is, I think, one of my favorites because I got to hear, a real life story from a couple who's lived this for 36 years. And I'm not even that old yet. So that says a lot. But I want to speak to the people who maybe gave their lives to Christ in this room today, because that's actually why we got up this morning. We got up early because we knew there'd be people that could move from death to life in a chair just like you're sitting in. And so we don't take that for granted. And we're going to stay and tear down because that's just what we do every week. This is, love takes sacrifice. We love seeing people give their lives to Jesus. And so there's a card that will come up on the screen. All we want you to do is your next step. Because the truth is, there are people in this room that gave their life to Jesus. But what I want to point out is that there are people in Navarre that gave their life to Jesus, and people at Blackwater tonight. 200 men will meet tonight. And I don't think any week so far we've had 0 men give their life to Christ since we started over a year ago. There have always been salvations in Blackwater. So what you do to invest here, what you do to pray here and give here and sacrifice here goes beyond this room. And it really is the fact that we're driven to change the world that's happening. So this card, this connection card, fill it out, mark that box that says, I decided to follow Jesus. And then meet us outside. We have some volunteers equipped to help you take your next step. It's very important that you don't leave this room and not take your next step, because that's when the enemy starts getting you. He knows what you did. He's not dumb. And he's going to start attacking you. You have a bullseye on you. And so get prepared, get a shield, get in the Word, and stay there daily. And there are some great reading plans you can get into, including this one here, which this series is based off of a series called From This Day Forward. A lot of these talks are very similar to what Craig Rochelle did. It's in the YouVersion reading plan. You need to check it out. It's very, very, very helpful. And so it's going to be awesome for you to do that. We also get a free gift if you're a first-time guest today. Don't forget that. You can stop right out there at the tables. Well, as we move into our next moment, which is our time of generosity as a church, one of our codes here is we believe in irrational generosity. We lead the way in irrational generosity. And I told you earlier about Pastor Tim sacrificing, and that's what irrational generosity is. But here's the thing, the Easter miracle offering, that's great. That's huge right now for us. It's the season we're in to build momentum. But if you're not returning your first, then you're missing out on the blessing altogether. And so if you're not letting that 90% be redeemed, you're not returning that first 10, then we would ask that you do that first before even thinking about building momentum. Because the truth is, that's the part that is the obedient part. Then you can experience the blessing that you get when you give over and above. And so as a church family, we're going to do that together in this next moment. And there's an app that you can give. It's real easy. You can set up automatic payments. We make it very easy for you to do that because we believe that you're not just investing in brick and mortar or renting the school or equipment. That's not what you're investing in. You're investing in eternity. You're investing in life change, things that are going to last way beyond our life here. And so that's a pretty good investment. I mean, I love Edward Jones, but that's a pretty awesome investment that keeps on going. And so let's do that together now as we return our first. Check out what's coming up. Series we thought would be amazing as we lead to Easter. Easter is in about 5 weeks. It's going to be incredible, but before we get there, we need to prep our hearts for Salt Life because it's all about being fishers of men and women. And so we're called to be salt and light of the earth, and what better place to do it in than right here on the coast. And so how many fishermen and women do we have in the room today? You love fishing? Yes, this is a series for you. We're going to have some really cool things during this series. We're going to have some giveaways. So you're going to want to bring your friends to this series. And then I want to hit Easter just for a moment. It's April 16th. Get ready. We'll have more for you next week. But get your heart ready for that because that is the biggest day of the year that everybody's coming to church. So I just want to give you a sneak peek to get ready. It is April 16th. You don't want to miss it. We have lunch covered for you today. It's $7 right outside, and the crew has put together their famous jerk chicken, which is the same jerk chicken that the ladies got last year for Lyft. So if you were here for that, you can enjoy that today right outside. Don't even brave the weather. Just stay under here, hang out, or help us tear down and go get some jerk chicken. Either way you do it, it's going to be a win. So we want to do that together. And then finally, we have put devotionals out there for you to be in God's Word daily. We were talking about that earlier. They're right here. They're free, and they are dated by day. You can travel along with the rest of the church and do it. Grab invite cards. Go ahead and take them right now. They're on your seat. Go ahead and grab a few and take them out to the community and invite people next week to Salt Life. See you next Sunday. Have a great week. Have a great week.